Characters. You see, when you have a popular series of iconic characters, and a sequel messes up the characters, people are going to be disappointed, even if the film itself is good. What do I mean? Well, let's start with the protagonist. Mr. Plinkett criticizes this film for not having a protagonist, but it clearly is Qui-Gon Jinn. Qui-Gon definitely is an interesting character in the extended universe, as Qui-Gon is a true Jedi that does the will of the Force, while the Jedi Council and Order are too focused on rules and the Jedi Code. But with the exception of a good scene, we don't see this in the film, so Qui-Gon is just Obi-Wan in A New Hope. But it's Liam Neeson. Fun fact, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon were both 60 in The Phantom Menace and A New Hope. Man, I don't think anyone could age worse if you tried. Poor Obi-Wan. Hey, like this video for poor Obi-Wan. Do it! Speaking of, Obi-Wan, the character everyone wants to see, is reserved for Qui-Gon's pointless sidekick. You see, while Obi-Wan is in the majority of the film, he doesn't actually affect the story. Qui-Gon is the one doing everything. In fact, Padme and Jar Jar do more for the story than Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now this changes in the big saber duel at the end, but that's probably because Qui-Gon dies. Well, to be fair, when Obi-Wan speaks, pretty much everything he says is a meme and/or hilarious. Speaking of hilarious, people criticize Jake Lloyd's acting. Yeah, that's a good segue. But while Anakin's acting is the worst in the movie, it still is pretty good. Jake Lloyd has a genuine relationship. It's pretty good. You can't hate too much. You can't hate it too much, because we got the life-changing advice. Spinning is a good trick. And when I said Anakin has a good relationship, I meant with his mom, Shmi, and Padme. Now, about his character, there isn't too much to talk about. It's really just set up for Darth Vader, but it's done subtly and impressively, so I guess I can accept it. Now I should talk about Padme Amidala. Yeah, a lot of people call Leia a strong female character. I agree, of course, but Padme is a strong female character too, in this movie. In fact, she could be quote-unquote stronger than Leia, if that makes sense. She was the one that outsmarted and captured the Viceroy. The Viceroy is basically the primary antagonist of the film, even though Darth Maul is in all the marketing, and everyone cares more about him than some guy who owns the Roger Roger droids. Not to discredit the Roger Roger droids, though, but Viceroy's character isn't anything, really, which is why I think Darth Maul should have owned the army. Of course, I don't see him as a Trade Federation leader, so the best choice would have been that Darth Maul, the general of the Separatist army, and the themes about the beginning of the Clone Wars put in this movie. Darth Maul, unfortunately, doesn't have any character in this movie. He has a nice ASMR voice, but he only has 3 lines of dialogue. Oh, and he has a double-bladed lightsaber. I'm not sure if that's worth mentioning, but oh well. I think that's all the main characters. There are some minor characters in the film, but they aren't worth mentioning. Pray to Jar Jar every night.